really.
True. Talking about your fitness, now, when did you decide that fitness is your thing?
I decided fitness was my thing when I got into bodybuilding around 2011. I'd been doing it at that time for about 2 years. And I just liked the way it made me feel. I liked the way it helped me change areas of my life. For example, I've always been a very progressive person, but I was as though now progressive on steroids. Like, things were just much easier to do. Issues were more easier to think through. I was not really stressed. I was more happier. I could make decisions that would take a longer time, quicker. So I felt as though my quality of life improved with me taking care of myself. And that's when I knew there was something that I wanted to keep for a long time.
True. And bodybuilding, was it not too much for you at that time?
No, not really. I know it does sound like it. It's not like I woke up and decided I want to get into bodybuilding. I woke up and decided I wanted to be healthy. And it was the journey to health that led me to bodybuilding. Just like how people in Kenya, you know, they start by jogging every morning at 5 a.m. for 3 times a week. Then in 2 months or 3 months, they're like, okay, now I'm going to run a marathon. You know, it's the same progression. You start doing one activity for one reason, and it grows the more you do it, and you find yourself thinking, okay, I cycled so many kilometers, I might as well take part in a cycling race. You know, it's just a progression, a natural progression.
And for female, do you feel like those stereotypes of people saying, I can't do it or something?
Yeah, there'll always be stereotypes first in our culture, because we're not brought up going to the gym. We're not brought up seeing women in the corner lifting weights. So I know it's new, but the good thing is people are receptive. Women are now curious about working out and how to stay toned, so that's a good thing. It's a stereotype, but it's just something I have to rise above every day.
So did you have abs? Huge
yes. Now if you see my Facebook pictures, you'll realize I'm ripped up. When you meet me in person right now, I'm a regular chick. If you look at me, you can tell I work out, but I'm not hard. Most of the pictures I took on social media, I take them right at the peak of my bodybuilding. So this is when I was probably 8% body fat. For 3 or 4 months, I wasn't eating almost everything. I was only eating maybe chicken and fish and broccoli and maybe rice. That's it. So strict diet, working out maybe 2 hours a day. So obviously I'm now not bodybuilding. I'm home. I'm enjoying my food. I'm enjoying my family. So I'll carry a bit more weight, but that doesn't mean that I'm still not taking care of myself.
And what was the reaction when you decided to join bodybuilding from the people around you at that time?
I didn't tell anyone that I was bodybuilding. I'm a very private person, and I don't like telling people what I'm working on, because I don't like naysayers. I don't like negative energy. I don't like someone questioning my decision. I've learned to become self-sufficient when it comes to making decisions about myself. I like to make them myself. And once I make them, I go on and execute, and then people know when the end result is produced. I don't go and say to people, hey, I'm thinking of bodybuilding, what do you think? No, I'm like, Jane, is this what you want to do? Does it make you happy? Good, go for it. And then I go for it.
Could you mention any maybe special recognition that you received after delving into bodybuilding?
So I took part in about 5 bodybuilding shows or competitions since 2010. Actually since 2011, and for each I always won a prize. I either was first place or second place, so every time I took home a medal or I took home a trophy, and for that affirmed to me that it is something I was good at.
And moving on, like you getting into bodybuilding and stuff, curiously asking, were the men hitting on you?
Okay, so two things happen when a woman becomes serious about getting in shape, and not just losing a bit of weight, but when you become super ripped and you have muscle showing, it intimidates a lot of men. So that already cuts your male population of people who would walk up to you and talk to you. But I feel as though because you do this, something that they might not do, I'm better or I'm stronger than them. And in all honesty, when I bodybuild, it's not like I do that to come fight. it's just for how I feel, or it's just for how I look. I never use it for anything else. Other than.
And what the men, do you think like the men were thinking like you had to beat them up or something?
I wasn't living in Kenya at the time, but now that I'm here, I see women beating. I hear of women beating men all the time.
True.
So I can see why a Kenyan man would be scared.
True.
Say, okay, if I date that chick and I kosea her, niko mali pabaya.
True. And true. And speaking of maybe the bodybuilding, at that time you are ripped. You say so. And was there ever any time that you were actually involved in an altercation and you tried to hit someone?
I've never, in my life, I've never hit anyone. I've never. In primary school, I used to be the chick, beaten up on closing days. We used to call it Kwekewa Wanted. Yeah, it was me who was the keyword wanted because I was a prefect. I've never beaten anyone in my life. So I don't even know if I got into a fight what it would be like, honestly.
At that time you had muscles, you felt you had the power. Was there never one time that you thought
for people who know me, despite of how I might come off on social media, I'm a very calm person. I'm very logical, very diplomatic. So I've never fought, so I don't think it would ever be. If we can't talk it out, I'll walk away.
True.
Yeah.
I agree. And how and when did you start training, and what motivated you to get fit?
So I started working out when I noticed I was much bigger than I wanted to be in 2008. But now the real training, the real dedication that gets somebody cut, it started in 2010 when I met a really good bodybuilding trainer. He's the one who taught me everything I know today about the body. Like, honestly, now that I'm in Kenya, if I just create my structure or my process of how to navigate the lifestyle of being healthy, I know in 60 to 90 days I'd be cut again. It's just a matter of figuring the way how to do it here in Kenya. So it really started in 2010. So now we're in 2015. It's been 5-6 years. That's how long it's been.
In regards to weight training, can you give us an overview of your typical week?
So my typical week right now, I'm working out 6 days a week. I do cardio every morning. Cardio is any exercise that elevates your heart rate, like running, swimming, jogging, cycling. And then I lift weights 5 times a week, usually now in the evening. I'm experimenting with a new program. So it's an hour weightlifting in the evening, and then morning 45 minutes of cardio. That's my regimen.
And what keeps you motivated to keep on training hard and eating right?
Man, there are days I wake up, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I might have 2 good weeks, then I have 1 week where I do not want to see the gym. I do not want to eat healthy food. I want to enjoy mukimo and matoke. So I'm human. I have those moments. So what I have to tap into when I have too many of those days is I keep reminding myself how good I feel and how empowered, how positive, all the good things that come out of me doing a workout. Or how good I feel in the morning when I wake up, when I've eaten my vegetables, when I've eaten, when I haven't eaten fried food or wheat products. The good feeling is what I chase. I keep reminding myself, remember how good you feel when you do this and this? Keep doing it.
True. And what kind of training routine do you follow?
What type of training?
Routine do you follow?
I just told you the 6 days a week.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. And what 3 exercises have contributed to the most to building your physique?
3 is a small number because every single body part has to be worked. Like there are days I work my arms, the days I work my chest, there are days I work the front of my legs, there's a day for the back of the legs, and there's the day for the diab. So every body part is worked out differently. So it can be 3. But I'd say the most effective workouts are squats, deadlifts, all for the legs. And maybe for upper body, I could say push-ups because they all hit so many body parts at the same time.
And any injuries you've encountered while training?
I've never had any injuries, thank God. Yeah.
Okay. And what are the contents of your fridge and the meal?
My fridge would be different from my parents.
Why do you say so?
As I said, I'm living home with my parents right now. You met my mom.
Yeah.
She likes feeding everyone. She fed you. So, I mean, it's a typical Kenyan household. Mandazis on Saturday mornings, chapatis once a week, chips Friday night. Despite what they eat, I have my special food made. So right now, their refrigerator, which is my refrigerator, is a mix of things. But if I lived by myself, and I'm sure I'm gonna be having my own place soon, my refrigerator would only have the foods I eat. I like to eat, and for that reason, I make sure things like cookies and crisps are not in the house because I'll eat. So I take anything that would make me not stay healthy out of the house and just keep the things that I need.
And what advice will you give like to the ladies who like keep on doing like squats? And you know most ladies do squats like to have a big butt so as to be attractive and everything. What advice will you give?
Squats alone will not do the work. It has to be a mix of, it has to be more than just squats. You must do some, if you're skinny and you want to build the butt, then you need to incorporate squats with other leg workouts. If you want to lose a bit of weight and still have a shapely butt, then do the squats but also do some cardio. Cardio helps with burning fat faster, so you can get smaller. So that's important. You can do one workout only. It has to be a combination of different things to shape the body.
True, I agree. And what's your favorite healthy food?
Healthy food?
Healthy food, yeah.
My favorite healthy food is, I love egg whites, so eggs without the yolk. So I like egg whites with vegetables. If I have to add a starch, maybe rice. I love rice. I could eat rice all the time.
And what's your best body part?
My best body part has to be I've been told I have a good looking behind. So
that's your best.
I think my best looking body part is, let me say, my legs. Yes.
And what's your favorite female body part?
A woman with nice legs and a nice butt will make me turn twice, like no homo.
And the best body part in a man?
A man, it can't be just one, because there are a couple, for several reasons. One, I like a man with a nice chest, and I like a man with a lean middle. A nice chest and nice arms.
Lean middle.
I want a lean guy. I see some guys who really work out, but they only work out their upper body. So they might have nice strong arms, a nice chest, maybe a good middle or a lean middle, and then their legs are skinny. So you can't just work out your upper body. I like proportion.
True.
Just like guys want, chicks with certain, form. It's the same for a chick. We also want, proportion, muscles in the right places. A nice looking butt on a man is attractive.
Nice looking butt.
Yeah.
And what 3 tips will you give to any woman who wants to get a feminine fit body, maybe like yours?
Okay, when it comes to I'll start healthy. Anything to do with health and fitness, it really comes down to food. So nutrition is key. You must know what to eat and when to eat it. Number 2, being physically active helps you get to your goal sooner. I talked about cardio, which is activities that get you out of breath, like running. Those are great, but they must be coupled with a form of resistance training, either weight training or body weight training. The weights or the strength training or resistance training is what gives you muscle to tone. You can't tone without that. Running, cycling, elliptical or cross trainer or biking doesn't help in toning. It helps you in reducing fat, but you'll still not be toned. For tone, you need strength training. Yes.
And how much of your on-stage condition do you attribute to nutrition?
How much of what?
Your on-stage condition.
On stage, when competing?
Yeah.
Nutrition is literally I know I say 80%, but really it's 90%. You can have the best workouts in the world, but if your nutrition is out the window, you won't make any gains. Yes, so nutrition is key, and nutrition is also the biggest challenge, because here in Kenya we eat what we are raised eating, you know, and some of us eat what we eat because of our geographic disposition, or you know, if you live in an area that grows a lot of maize, you eat a lot of ugali. If you live by the lake, you eat a lot of fish, which is good, but there's more to it than just eating what's available. There's the aspect of how much of it are you eating and what time you're eating it. So nutrition is key. Food causes disease and food cures disease. You just have to be intelligent enough to understand that. Yeah.
True. And when you started training or getting into these fitness programs, how did your parents react?
Okay, like I said, I usually don't want people
To know.
or share what I'm doing. I just do it. I remember year number 4, my mother was worried. She's like, okay, you're getting skinny, your house never has any food. She was in the States at the time, and she actually thought I joined a cult. She's like, so a few years later, when she came to understand, she's like, you know, I thought you had joined a cult because you used to leave the house at 4 a.m. to go to the gym. You get off work, when I called you, you're back at the gym. I didn't know what was going on, but now she understands it. So the reaction was, they couldn't get it, but eventually they did. Yeah.
And do they support you fully?
Fully, yes.
So true. And what's the most common training question that people ask you?
How do I get a flat stomach fastest? What's the thing to do is start watching what you're eating. Like now, starches are the devil, and I mean this in a good way. The processed starches, the bread, the mandazis are the worst. Eating too much ugali or rice or mokimo at night is not good for your body. So just trying to ask people to do more research and educate themselves on what they should be eating and how.